Dennis, do you think that your San Diego acting experience served as a good foundation for your career in Hollywood?
I think it was invaluable. My training at the Globe Theater, and when I graduated from high school, I played Shakespeare here at the old Globe Theater, and that was a marvelous experience. And I worked at La Jolla Playhouse, and as an apprentice, and I met a lot of people there. I had a great opportunity to watch professional actors work and rehearse, and it was invaluable, I think.
You went to Hollywood at the tender age of 18. You're 26 now. How many roles have you performed in the ensuing 8 years?
I've done about 10 or 11 movies. I'm not quite sure which, and about 150 guest star shots on television.
Are most of the opportunities now in Hollywood on television rather than in motion pictures?
Well, I think all of them. Unless you're a star, unless you're a big established star, you have to make your living from television. And there are very few movies. I understand there were only 200 movies made in Hollywood last year. A lot of them abroad.
You haven't gone overseas to make any pictures, have you?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
I haven't been offered them, and most of the younger people are being used from Europe. They're European actors, actually.
Is Hollywood going through a transition now, perhaps for the better, in order to recoup its lost fortunes?
I think it'll have to. I think, first of all, I think that they have to get younger people in, younger people in producing and directing and so on. I think that they're going to have to compete with the Europeans now rather than the Europeans competing with us. You see, the Europeans started making art films because that's the only way they can have them seen in this country. I think we're now going to have to start making art films for the art theaters in this country and then eventually send them to Europe.
Do you think there's really a market for art films large enough for Hollywood to support?
I think definitely there is, especially in Europe. I think that's the biggest market there is in Europe right now are art films. The United States in the last, I think, 3 years ago, there were something like 300 art theaters, and now there are 2,000 and more than that, about 2,500, I would say, art theaters in the United States alone.
Have you been typed quite a bit in the roles that you've been getting?
I would say that I have, yes. I have to, on television, you do a guest star shot on television, which is what I do. You have to play, most of the time, heavies. So I'm playing heavies. Actually, in Night Tide, though, the film that is opening here, I play a very nice, naive kind of American boy from Kansas or
Last
Colorado.
week in the Twilight Zone, you were the leader of the American Nazi Party, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
As a matter of fact, your very first television role, the one that really got you started big, was a very offbeat role, wasn't it?
Yes, I played an epileptic. I played an epileptic on Medic. But at the same time, even though the boy was very sick, he was very sympathetic. It was a very sympathetic part.
Dennis, you have a remarkable similarity to Napoleon. I wonder whether people have told you about that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I played Napoleon at Warner Brothers about 1957, I think, in The Story of Mankind. Marie Windsor played Josephine. It was a small part. It was a vignette, and The Story of Mankind. Vincent Price was in it, and Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Coleman, and just various, stars. It was one of those big star things. But I loved the part. I loved playing it.
Do you have anything big coming up in the near future?
Well, just television. I'm doing television. I'm up for 3 or 4 films, but there's nothing concrete about it, so I don't know.
How do you like the life up there? Is there enough security for you to be happy with it?
Yes, there is. It can get better. I would like to, do a lot more than I'm doing at the present time, but I'm surviving very nicely.
Well, actually, you and Victor Buono are probably the most successful graduates of San Diego to make the big time in Hollywood.
I guess so, yes. Of course, when you think back a few years, there was Gregory Peck, too. He was from here. And then Marla English was up there for a while. I guess she left and came back down here. And I guess that's about it, isn't it? Yeah.
Congratulations, Dennis, and welcome back to San Diego, your hometown.
Thank you very much, Mr. King.